Okay, hey Jide.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for coming onto my show. Can we talk?
Happy to have me.
Good. So, just to give you a bit of background on my show, I traditionally try to interview people who are starting new businesses or chasing their dream, but I do like having these kind of talks.
What's this kind of talk?
So, today I want to speak to you about social media and how it influences people and being on the other side of, I don't want to say hate train,
Hate?
but
Whoa.
being the person who's receiving the backlash.
Fair. I'm a psychologist though.
Okay, tell me more.
I psychoanalyze people on Twitter. And,
Go on.
and one of my biggest theses is, do I agree with you if you have cheeks or not?
Okay, anyway, we're not going to go into that, but I do have 2 words for you.
Go on.
Shiny suit.
Oh, my people then.
You being on Twitter,
Yeah.
because I think that's where primarily you get a lot of your backlash.
Yeah.
Unless you get it on Instagram or Snapchat or
It's mainly Twitter.
TikTok if you have it. No, okay.
Proper bank
So,
statement.
tell me more about that side of Twitter.
Okay.
I don't want to make it seem like as well you're like, you
Damn.
know, the CEO of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
But I feel like you are prominent, and given that you're wearing your
Shiny shirt. Listen,
You're
that's
giving
why I came like this. The people can see the vision. You can see the vision.
Tell me more about what it's like being siloed into a particular, like, you know.
That's it. Okay, what I will say is, shiny suit evolved from objectivity Twitter, quote unquote, right? So
That can be argued though,
yeah,
but I'm gonna let you speak.
yeah. My thing is, yeah, I don't silo I don't box myself in anything. I just talk. I'm literally on Twitter.
Objectively.
Oh yeah. Although I have over the years learned that not everything can be looked through an objective lens. However, the reason why people like me got pigeonholed into shiny suit, quote unquote, is because of mainly, I'd say, our takes when it comes to things in regards to politics or inter-black relationships. And so me, as obviously from where I work, I'm a stats guy.
And you work in finance.
And I work in finance.
Okay.
And trap on the weekends, but you know, that's not.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm very into stats and into how the correlations relate to real life. So I try not to speak too much from an emotional perspective.
Point of view, okay.
Yeah. So because of that, there'll be something that's going on, especially like I said, in politics and
life in general.
Or life in general. And a lot of the Twitter, like Black UK Twitter, are very, very left leaning. Like that's just what it is. So their perspectives are very, it's like echo chamber-esque. That's not a word.
Is it very left to you?
It's very, it's very left to me.
okay.
Like obviously, I grew up in a left-leaning environment, left-leaning household or whatever. So I know what the sort of POVs are. Although I will tell people that Nigerians are very conservative. Like that's just the only reason we're on the left in the UK is because we that's who got us here, really and truly. But really and truly, like a lot of our values are conservative values. Not conservatives in the UK, but you know, like be modest and all that jazz and all that stuff. So when it comes to that, and then for example, election time, or when it comes to money and taxes, and if people need handouts or people need help, my perspectives usually come from a way that yes, people need help. However, just giving money, in my opinion, doesn't help people. Just giving everyone money. So if I come up with that sort of opinion, I can't just give someone 100 million. They're not going to do anything with it. I'd rather teach someone how to fish than just give them fish. But to people who believe that the problem is a lack of funds, a lack of money, a lack of X, Y, Z, from an emotional point of view, we'll just be like, oh, here he goes, saying he doesn't want to raise his taxes that he doesn't have yet, or some, you know, all this jazz, isn't it?
Ergo being siloed into.
And then you get boxed in because it's a funny coincidence that a lot of people that think like me also did economics. Oh my god, that's one of the biggest banes. I can't lie. Like that stereotype. But whatever.
So my question is to you: have you faced any backlash from what you said on social media on any platform?
On any other platform?
Any platform.
Oh yeah.
So it being like Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah.
Have you faced backlash? And when has that backlash affected? Because sometimes we think that online and real world are two separate things. So when has those barriers crossed?
Okay, so of course that's happened many times, and like I said before,
for you,
like I said before, with the inter-relationship dynamics, that one I feel like was one of the ones that maybe positioned me to be to be targeted.
I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, one time I tweeted, because again on Twitter I'm always digesting information that black men don't love black women or black men etc.
Seriously, or just for
No. I like seriously. Like,
okay.
Black men and black women apparently aren't dating like that anymore. Like black men are just running into the wild to date white women. Okay. So I came back.
That's
I'm
a
like,
different conversation.
No. It is no. I'm just bringing this
of course.
to show you an example. So I came out. I looked at the numbers, and really and truly, it's like 7 out of 10 black men. No, 7 out of 10. I think it was 7 out of 10 black women date black, and 6 out of 10 black men date black. Wow, if you split basically black African, black Caribbean, again, more black Africans are dating black than whatever. So
yeah.
But regardless, the difference between black men and black women is not that different. Like, it's just by one person.
So what happened when you made this tweet?
So then I tweeted, what is this myth that black men don't love black women? And I say, the freaking Kraken, everyone just came quote tweet. I know when they changed the quote tweets.
Yeah.
So you know.
So you got ratioed.
Oh. And you get those accounts with like 50,000, 100,000 followers. They love it. They love when they quote because they know their peoples will come on.
Yeah.
So I just muted it. I was just like, I just ignored it. And then I reckon a week later, some crazy shit happened in Twitter, innit? Like some serious, like real life serious stuff in it. I don't know if I should mention it or whatnot. But then there were people that I've tweeted to like or whatnot. Oh my god! So these people now decided to do a full audit of my history since I've ever been on Twitter. Okay. And then obviously I've been deleted. My account's been deleted a few times. Yeah. And so they found some tweets that. I know what happened at that time. It definitely wasn't me, but because of the old quote tweet system, you can quote tweet someone else's tweet without actually saying anything, and then you add your tweet, and it looks very vague. It was crass, but they got some tweets that said some funny stuff.
What were the funny stuff, Jide?
Like
you don't have to go into it.
I don't want to.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't want to say what they were because we don't need to go back. Again, I said it wasn't me that said these things, innit?
Who was it?
Whoever I quote tweeted. This was like these people's accounts.
But is quote tweeting not an agreement or?
No, because I quote tweeted and then I put a rebuttal. Like one time, one guy said something mad about black women, and I quote tweeted him to say he's too clapped for that opinion. But the person that screenshot it, because of how the quote tweet system was, it says my at, this guy's at, my rebuttal here, his tweet here, but it doesn't show you.
What you said?
Yeah, it doesn't show you who actually said what. Yeah. Like how you'd see someone's.
I understand.
Yeah. So they thought it was me that said that. So they just had this quote tweet or whatnot and all these little captions, and someone must have made a fake account and then emailed all these captions to my workplace. So I work for a hedge fund, right? And we have. Okay,
but so just to clarify, you didn't say those things. So you made a rebuttal and they...
So that was an example. Okay. So I made a rebuttal, right? Obviously there were other ones like that was even more serious than that one. It was just mad like, why would that... Anyway.
So how did that go with your workplace? That's insane.
Wait. Because we have like our client inquiries. So obviously high net worth clients email them, I want to blah, blah, blah. So can you imagine our client inquiry is getting... XYZ works for your company. He said this. When the head of HR contacted me, they said apparently this account said I've been bullying them since 2014.
Jesus.
This person. And then they said.
And this is coming from a place where you wasn't doing that anyway.
Again, I would say back in Twitter, we used to cuss each other. I used to cuss everyone. Everyone used to cuss me. One thing that I know.
So you don't particularly remember someone that
I
you
don't.
actually
No.
bullied?
I never bullied anyone. It was just free smoke. Like, if someone comes for you, you better hit them and you hit them hard. That's how Twitter was back then. Like, I reckon my crime was the people that I interact with a lot. Like they have
being a part of, you know, the whole system.
They have a very bad reputation. I'll say the people I tweet a lot. So I normally get put into that group by affiliation. Again, it's normal. That's human behavior. People do that.
Crime by association.
Yeah, but so they said I've been bullying them since 2014. Obviously, this is bullshit. I've not bullied anyone. So my workplace didn't actually care. Like, there was some mad stuff with it. They said they didn't care. All they cared was me saying shake my head. You think, what the hell was a shake my head? Because shake my head is spelled SMH, right? And those are the initials of my CEO. So they thought I was out here just talking about my CEO in a mad way. And then I'm like, come on, man.
So they didn't care that you were
They didn't care.
I mean, that's crazy.
They didn't care. She didn't care. She was like, obviously when it was explained and she spoke to me and she said, yeah. She goes, even before she started a role in my company, she used to be onto Trump like crazy on Facebook.
Okay, so she understood where you were coming from. She understood where I'm coming from.
That someone literally took some of her tweets, Facebook, whatever they say on Facebook, of Trump and sent it to the company to say, how are you going to hire this person?
Yeah.
So she goes, she knows how people are on Twitter or on social media. But that's like probably the closest I could say my heart was beating. Because that day I was like, this is COVID. People are losing their jobs,
Oh, so this was during...
This was during COVID, yeah.
Wow.
So people are losing their jobs. Like, my company cut almost half the staff. So I'm thinking, this is a perfect excuse to get rid of someone if it's peak, you know what I mean? So my heart was beating that day.
What would you have done?
I wouldn't say nothing. That's the thing about me is my L's, I don't tweet.
You don't broadcast them?
Yeah. I'll just pretend nothing's happened and carried on with life. But secretly, I would have been rattled. Oh!
Okay, so that's the closest that something online has affected your real life.
My real life,
right? So my question is, being on the other side of the hate, I don't want to say hate train, but the backlash.
Yeah.
Being on the other side of the backlash, how has that been for you as a person, especially when, because I'm not saying that you're not innocent and that you haven't done anything.
Yeah,
but when you truly believe that you've done nothing wrong, how does social media in that sense affect you? Because some people think, okay, well, if something's happening online, why don't you just log off? Yeah. But I don't think it's that easy. No,
of course not. The thing is, like I said, I'm not perfect. If people try to get me on stuff that I've done, I hold my hands up. It is what it is. That's how I roll in it. But when it's something you haven't done and you're getting crazy backlash, especially when it's something serious, if it's something trivial like, you vote a certain way, whatever, man, I don't care. But when it's like real life, serious topics that like abuse or if you like said something about black women, you know what I mean, stuff like that affects again the relationships we have with our peers, then it's a problem. So for example, when that whole scandal stuff was going on Twitter in like a few months ago, initially before it even happened. And
is Twitter the only platform this happens on?
Yeah, I don't get much, because on Insta I don't use it like that. Snapchat, I don't really use it like that. So Twitter is where I'm really, I'm seen, I'd say. So I'll say I actually wanted to like maybe not come on for a week or so, because work was crazy or whatnot. I made the conscious effort. I'm like, no, I'm not leaving, just in case someone tries to say something, and I'm not here to defend myself, because I know how that can go. If you can't defend yourself and things are said, they stick. If you say something enough, people believe it's true.
But how does that affect how you see yourself? Everything that happens on social media, like, how does that affect your real life apart from work? Does it affect your self-esteem? Does it affect the way you see yourself? Does it affect how your friends speak to you or the people that you have connections with? How does that affect you? Because I don't want it to be that. I really don't believe social media and real life are two separate things. I think they can be interlinked.
No, they can be. But again, I've said several times to several people, I'm very good at detaching my social media from my real life. I'm still the same person, but the people that know me and I care about, they're not gonna. They were bantering me. Like when all the crazy stuff was happening, they were cussing me. I was getting bantered in a group chat.
So does it matter that everything happens on social media then?
It only matters if it affects, for me, if it affects my ability to earn. If it affects my ability, if it affects, that is what I count real life. In terms of relationships with people, my thing is I have no control what you feel and what you think about me, right? I can't, there's nothing I can do. If you've made your mind up, there's nothing I can do.
Not even like friends or
but
like,
my
for example,
friends know me, right?
Okay.
The people that are my acquaintances, they can come and ask the question. If you cut me off without even coming to talk to me, that is on you. I'm not gonna bother you. I'm not gonna force it. Like, of course that happened, right? Of course people that I was cool with blocked me, unfollowed me. All that stuff happened.
Okay, so
that
that's happened.
Yeah, all that happened. But like I said, the way
And were they your friends?
No,
or?
they were my like acquaintances who were cool.
Okay.
Cool. My friends, no. My friends just, we spoke and they're like, come on, Jide, don't worry about that. Because again, these are the people that know me. And if they want to ask the questions or they want to know stuff, I could easily give that to them because we have that relationship.
Yeah.
But my acquaintances and like people that I'm cool with, we don't have that relationship. So they can make their minds up based on the information they have. Whether it's incomplete or complete doesn't matter because that's human. And again, this is how I live my life. I can't control what these people think. So for me to now be depressed and upset about this stuff, it's a waste of time. Obviously,
even being on the other side of people, like, of the backlash.
Yeah, no, it's not nice. Don't get me wrong. It is not nice. Like, if you're getting painted something you're not, it's not nice. Mentally, it's not great at all, especially if it's something really, really serious, right? But, like I said, you can't control what people do or think. But one thing I will say is, while, there's some people that don't like me or whatnot, there are a lot of people that do know and do vouch for me online, which I'm not going to name their names, but shout them out because they still have a sphere of influence as well. And at that time, they didn't need to put their neck out on the line for me at all. But they did. They will say stuff like, I don't know why you lot are trying Jide. He doesn't say this. He didn't do that. He didn't. Do you know what I mean? So when you have other people who aren't necessarily your friends saying, come on, man, you lot are doing too much, then that's when you know, okay, cool. But it's when I feel like it would be better if you asked someone that was completely cancelled, that got evicted from Twitter, got evicted from Instagram, how they would feel. If I was in their shoes, then I would be distraught because you've not only lost.
But there's a reason why they've been evicted.
Yeah, but there is a reason. Yeah. There is a legitimate reason. Yeah. So I'm not here to defend anything, right? But I'm saying how they would be feeling. They would be distraught. They probably lost a few of their actual close friends. So you feel being attacked from every angle. You have no one to go to. You probably don't want to go out. Probably don't want to do X, Y, Z because, like you said, we try to act like social media and real life is disconnected, but it's social media.
I think it's very easy for people to be like, how can this happen to you? How can you feel this way because of something that happened online? And you can just log out. But it's not, because sometimes you make friends that, like, you make your, like, for those like who make friends in real life, you can also make friends online, and it can be a bit distraught when you've made a connection with someone, and then this allegation has come out, and you're like, well, I can't defend myself, and whatever I defend myself, you have to go with the masses opposed to the minority. And so it looks like, okay, well, I've lost this connection with someone because of something that's not true, and there's nothing you can really do about that.
Like we saw with like friends of people that were alleged to do X, Y, Z, they were getting attacked.
Just for being friends as well.
Just being friends with these people. They were getting, and that's where I fell in, like, they were like, oh, you're friends with X, Y, Z.
So you must, because I do get that though. I do get the whole, what's that saying? Birds of the same feather flock together. So I kind of get that. But does that apply to social media if you met them online?
No, I think it's ridiculous. Like, there are people that I know on there for like 3-4 years I have never met. But me and this person, we're so cool that we tweet each other almost every day, DM each other, whatnot. God forbid, if he did something mad, they'll be like, oh, you must have known him since it was knee high. I'm like, bro, I don't know this person from anywhere. But it's easy to fall into that trap, quote unquote, where you'd think because you lot interact, or maybe you're in 1 or 2 events, you see each other and like spot each other, that you're friends. Like my friends, my real life friends, people, I rarely tweet them. I'll tell you that I rarely ever tweet them. We just DMs, group chat, WhatsApp, and we link up when we're going gym, playing football, but I rarely ever tweet them.
Okay, so I want to steer away from you because I think it almost feels like you're trying to prove that you're something that you're not, and I don't want that to be the case because you are who you are on social media, out of social media, you are who you are.
Yeah.
But I just want to talk more about what you think the effects of social media can result in. The results, actually, what the results can actually happen. Like, okay, fine. You've been called out for something, and you may understand, you may like rectify what you think or change, but does social media allow a place for that?
No, of course not. Like, social media, there's even a show on Netflix. I forgot what it's called, but it basically goes into the psychology of social media, and I feel like we're at the point where it's too late. So completely take me out of it. Like, even if I get backlash for my political opinions or whatever, it don't matter. Like, again, I say I am very good at splitting stuff, but a lot of people aren't. So if you look at the damages social media has done into our community, I want to say I'll say the black community because that's who I can speak for.
Yeah, because you're most involved in that community.
Yeah. The relationship between black men and black women are ever getting more fractured as time goes on.
Do you think that's because of social media?
Yeah, no, social media.
And that's relating into the real world?
Of course.
Okay.
That's a direct link. Like, for example, I don't want to do this. Yeah, I don't want it to seem like
do it.
This is okay.
Do it.
So for example, let's say for dating, let's say we're going to dating, right?
Which is a big topic.
Which is a big thing, right? So on social media, like we affirm, like a lot of babes, they affirm each other and saying we want men that make X, Y, Z, 6 figures. Like, you know what I mean? The celebrities we look up to, if can't buy you this, don't, you know what I mean? Like, cool. When in fact, let's say only 4% of black men or whatnot have that. No. Let me land. There's only like 4% of.
You said let me land.
There's only like 4% of black men who can actually afford that.
6 figures, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's actually not that many people in the UK who earn 6 figures. It's crazy.
And that's proved. That's proven.
No, it is proven. Like you can check the statistics.
Me, I'm not doubting you. I'm just asking.
Obviously, it might be a bit more than 4%, but it's a small number when you take into consideration the whole black community. Not many of us are just making more than 6 figures, right? So men are seeing this, and men are like, these are like 19, 18, 20-year-olds, 21. Do you know what I mean? Young people they want to date, and they see
before they really form themselves, right? So they're still quite impressionable.
Yeah, so they're like, I need to make money. I need to be up. The girls that I like are dating these men who are 27, 28, with a Benz, with this, with that, and they're tweeting they want a guy that can buy them this, and you're seeing all these big grand gestures on social media of people that are dating like a guy who gets his girl flowers with £20 notes, and girls are like, that's what I want. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people need to realize everything we see, we digest. Whether you try to act like it's not that deep, we all digest it. Same as black women digest when men say, I want women with cheeks or X, Y, Z. No, it's facts. You lot digest it, and then
I have a quick question about that before you go back onto your point.
Go on.
So, do you think the amount of women who decide to get surgery on their bodies is a direct correlation to what men say on social media?
It's not. No, it's correlated. I won't say it's a direct correlation. It's not just us, but it's correlated because the men that they think they want, again, the 6 figures, tall, the man. Every woman wants the man. Every man wants the girl, woman. So to be the woman, you have to look better. You know, your currency is based on how you look. So you have to be absolutely drop dead gorgeous.
Shiny suit, guys.
This is you can call it shiny suit, but this is an objective observation of the situation, right? And then both sides, when you're young, you're impressionable, and you realize, okay, I want the baddest B. To get the baddest B, I'm in uni, I've got no money.
And my question, and that's because of Twitter, that's because of social media.
Social media exacerbates
and not just Twitter, that's Instagram, Snapchat,
especially
all of that. Okay.
All of that, right? It exacerbates it. Obviously, I'm not saying it didn't occur before, like.
But more people were
But
willing
more
to
people
settle
are-
without being shamed for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you're 15 and you don't have Balenciagas, you look like as you're brokey. Do you know what I mean? And they'll be like, oh, you have guys doing fake, ready to spend. Man, them out here are ready to spend £220. Again, I will speak on behalf of men. I don't want to do that stuff that I talk for women. innit? But man, them out here, young boys, are ready to spend £200+ on fake Balenci's than get an actual legit Nike or Adidas for the same price. You know what I mean? They would rather spend fake money on Yeezys than legit P's.
So what are you saying? Are you saying that social media not really
So I'm saying
facilitates unrealistic expectations?
It facilitates unrealistic expectations and forces, no one forces you, but pushes people to do stuff to themselves that are dangerous, as in women going under the knife and risking their lives to look a certain way, and men ready to jump in drug deal, or do stuff to get money to appear rich, to look rich. Like I remember one person says, don't be fake rich in your 20s to be broke in your 30s. A lot of people are being fake rich in their 20s to have a certain look on social media. So their peers can be like, oh, that's the man. That is the man. You know what I mean? Oh, he's so cool. So their name rings bells, quote unquote. And that is social media affecting your real life. That's the perfect example of it.
And it's crazy because you see a lot of young people doing this and getting into these situations. And I wonder, what is the solution? Do you know what I mean? Like, because we can't limit kids from, and kids who are going onto social media are getting on there younger and younger. So we can't exactly limit it. And we can't control people and how they present themselves. So what actually is the answer? Because I think I was listening to a conversation and people were like, I'm so glad social media I grew up before social media. I mean, my first Twitter was when I was 14, 15? That's a very young age. You know what I mean? Like, at that age, that's when everything is coming out. All the backlash, all of that. Everything that can potentially cause backlash now. That's when everything happens. So I wonder, how do we protect our youth, our sisters, our brothers, our youngers, and all of that?
I've said it many times to many people. I actually feel like we're almost at a point where it's too late.
Yeah, you said that.
The creators of social media knew this was going to happen. They said
it literally changed life. Completely.
Like when they did the test runs and when they were initially creating Facebook, they saw how you can easily control the psyche and of the human mind when using stuff like social media as a platform. You can literally make people feel and move a certain way.
Question.
Go on.
Do you think you've ever contributed?
Of course.
Okay.
Whatever your question is, I'm 100% sure I have. I'm not gonna come out and cap. Of course I have, because I've said stuff. I've said things. I've joked. I like to joke, and whether I'm joking or not, there's someone out there who's.
And where that joke comes from, because sometimes.
Yeah. So
it can come from a place where you're like, oh, but this may be normal, but it's normal to joke about.
Yeah.
So it depends where that joke is coming from.
Yeah.
So if you know you've contributed, how does someone who has contributed into those positions move forward? Because I feel like you haven't been evicted of social media.
Yeah, because I do things with good faith. So I am legit not trying to quote. I hate this word. I'm not purposely out here trying to gaslight or trying to I'm not.
You just didn't know better.
Yeah. As in, like, and when I say I didn't know better, as in, I did it. I would say I wasn't emotionally. I'm not
gonna lie. I do think a lot of guys back then didn't really care about how it affected anybody.
Yeah.
They just did jokes because their boys found it funny and so on.
Yeah. No,
I don't like
that
that
definitely happened.
Yeah.
But for example, I never did black women jokes. That's not my bag. Although people try to slap
your
it
bag
on me.
is what?
But I've said a lot of bad things. I'm not gonna say.
What's
I've said
your
a
bag?
lot of other bad stuff in it.
What's that?
I'm not gonna say it. You can do your own research. But I've said other things, innit? That obviously, when I grew up a bit more and I made friends and off Twitter again, off social media, who explained to me, who gave me the grace to be like, all right, cool, this is why you shouldn't say this.
And I guess that's what you need. You need people who are able to explain to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get all this backlash and you don't have anyone to actually tell you this is why it's bad.
Yeah. And I feel like people don't realize that we're not all quote unquote woke from the time we're born. Like when when I say I was fully socially conscious and socially aware, I'd say I was probably at 23. That I would say I was at the point where I could say, okay, I'm not doing things because I'm ignorant. Although still there's some stuff that I could say slips under the crack, but everything that hurt another group of community, I was aware of it. And if I did it, and I did it for laughs and giggles, it's because I wanted laughs and giggles.
Okay, so you did it knowing.
So no, at that point, when I hit that age, obviously beforehand, I came from a very, like, small, you know what I mean? Like, all I knew was me, my friends, and whatnot. Whatever we joked about, like, we joked about the most inappropriate
But do you feel
things.
bad about it?
No.
You don't feel bad about the jokes you made?
Because that was between me and my friends. Like, I don't
During then, even if it oppressed another group.
No, but it didn't oppress another group because I said these things to my friends about my friends.
Oh, I understand. I get you. I mean? It wasn't about anybody else. It was about them.
It was about them, but I was cussing them in a way that if I cussed them again like that,
but if you,
Twitter,
for example, made jokes about another community that, you know, and it hurt them, did you feel bad about it once you learned and you understood?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So obviously the stuff that we were saying and the kind of jokes we was making, obviously now you know, now you've been aware and you've met people and you see the damage and the hurt it causes, and you're like, all right, cool, this is not cool. And I'm not going to say these things. But what happens now is people, the internet's forever. So those jokes you've made in 2012 or 2011 about these communities that you don't feel that way now, they come back up. And someone says, I don't care, you was 20 back then, you should know better. No, it don't. The world don't work like that.
Life doesn't actually work like that.
It doesn't work like that.
Because we're always learning.
That's it.
It's just a shame. I don't like the comparison of, but this person was 20 years old and I didn't have 2 heads. Please.
It don't work that way.
You may not have had 2 heads, but me, maybe I did 3.
No, but that's the truth.
I need to know for myself. I need to learn for myself. So I do understand that.
It don't work that way. And a lot of the people that have been got in regards to that,
you've been
got.
You've been got.
I feel like they haven't had the grace to explain it. No, I don't believe in explaining yourself for the internet because they don't.
I also think that sometimes things are too harmful to go forward.
Yeah. One thing I hate seeing constantly is the black women jokes. Yeah. Because we have this like every 3 months or every 6 months. And I'm like, okay, what are we trying to do? Are we trying to learn from them and heal, or are we just trying to keep bringing up the same old trauma?
Right.
And I feel like the bots, because there's always bots that like with no followers and following 500 people that bring up these things. And the reason they do it is because they know the sort of backlash it will cause, and they know it would harm the person they don't like. Right,
exactly. So my question is, just to round up, what do we do?
What you do?
How do we move forward? What do you think, from your opinion, like from someone who's been there firsthand and faced backlash? What do we do?
I just feel like people just got to do things out of good faith. Like, don't join their agendas. Like I keep saying, like with the youth. So again, this current stupidity of black men versus black women, and everyone's trying to one up each other and trying to make black, like, it doesn't help anyone because the people that are absorbing it are the impressionable.
Right.
And what they're going to do is they're going to take it to when they're dating and when they're in the space and when, because everyone has their own time. And apply it. And they're going to apply it. Everyone has their own time. My age group are moving out of the spotlight. Like, we're drifting, we're gone.
Yeah, because you guys are old now.
We're older. So, I'm not old yet.
Oh!
But the new kids on the scene, they've absorbed all the crap that we were saying, and they're gonna keep saying it. They're gonna reaffirm it, and then what? The 14, 15-year-olds who are looking up to them, they're gonna absorb. It's a perpetual cycle. So what you need to do is we need to break it. We need to stop with the agendas and actually sit on the table and have a conversation.
So you think this is a black community problem and not a Twitter problem?
No, it's social media. Social media is not designed for proper conversations. It's not designed for people to do stuff out of good faith.
Right.
It isn't. It is a social media problem.
Right.
But for us, I'm a big believer in fixing your own stuff within your own community. I can't do I can't fix India, them Indian man. I can't.
But
fix
you
it.
know what the black community is like.
But
You've been a part of
yeah.
it. You're immersed in it.
Yeah.
You're even siloed in it. They even said you're even wearing shiny shirts today to show that you're a part of Shine City.
You know the vibes.
So you're part of it. So I get it.
Yeah, and that's what we need to do, man. We need to sit around in a, obviously not real life, in a metaphorical round table and stop with certain things. Stop with certain.
So how do you stop people from pushing forward the negative narrative, harmful narrative?
By not giving them the time of day. But this is the problem.
Right.
Human beings have a negativity bias.
Right.
We evolved this way because if, let's say back in the day when you're getting hunted, like a lion is around, thinking a rock over there looks like a lion is better because you'd stay away from it. Whether it's a lion or not, you would stay away from it than rather than you saying, it's probably safe. Imagine it is a lion, it'll kill you. Negativity bias saves people. If someone gets backlash, they focus on, for example, Letita Wright, when she was getting backlash for that stuff she was saying.
Right.
I would say most of the stuff were constructive criticism. But because a few trolls were out here doing what trolls do, what did people focus on? The trolls, because that is the negativity bias that humans have. If we stop that,
I have a rebuttal for that, but I don't think we have enough time.
Yeah, we probably don't. But if we stop focusing on that and then focus on the positive things we do, and all the criticism is constructive without agendas, we can actually fix our problem. That's my opinion.
Okay. Well, I want to say thank you for coming on and talking about this. I know that this is a difficult conversation to have because some people really don't believe social media and real life cross paths. But I do like the fact that you've been vulnerable enough to tell us about what's happened to you, how it could have affected your earning, your livelihood, anything you had in the future, especially as you know what you said wasn't how it was intended to be taken, if that still makes sense. Yeah. So I really thank you for being able to do that, and I really hope I have you back on my channel anytime soon. To actually tell people about my life plans and businesses. Listen. Maybe by then, but I do like our general conversations anyway, because I think we do have opposing opinions sometimes, so it's nice to kind of bounce off each other. Yeah. So thank you again for coming onto my channel. It's been amazing. Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure. And yeah, that's a wrap.